Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here again for our weekly angel reading for February 11th through the 17th, 2013. And so just tuning in a little bit to the energy of this week. I'm getting a sense that we really need to nurture ourselves, pay a particular attention to your feeling energy, and emotional energy bodies, that just seeing a little bit of a vulnerability here in this week. And so they were showing me, the moonlight and being outside around that time in the starlight. So it gives me a sense that pay attention to your dreams during this week, noticing anything that is coming up for you, as I said before, emotionally, and to really, self nurturing and caring of yourself. As we know, this is Valentine's week, and it's a time that we really usually share our affections with those that we love, and our partners, our soulmates, as well as friends and family, but most importantly, ourselves. And this is a great week to really make this Valentine's about loving you and loving yourself, and really following your truth. So this Valentine's, we should make a commitment to our soul's truth. Make a commitment or contract with what's in your heart, your true desires, to that you really, the gifts of your soul, that you really want to begin to step into that awareness. And the best way to love yourself is to honor your truth. That's really the most simple way of loving yourself. And I like this idea, because then all we're doing is loving ourselves means that we just have to be aware, have an awareness of what our heart or what our soul's truth is really constantly, but in a very loving way, calling us forward to be the best that we could be, and to access the highest possibilities of pure love, and connection, with ourselves, inner selves. And so let's just tune in and see what this week's reading is about, and the messages from the angels. So I'm going to begin with the Archangel card, which is the Archangel that we can work with for this week, and the message they give us. And it's the Archangel Michael. And the card says, "You are safe." He says, "I am protecting you against the lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home." And let's just tune in for a moment and see what message Archangel Michael is offering us. So he's just kind of showing me that we need, in order for opportunities to open up to us, we really need to stay grounded. And, he's showing me that we kind of need to look into those areas of our lives, in our ego perception, he's showing me a dark window, almost like I get a sense of shadow. And he's saying, have faith, don't worry. This is nothing to worry about, but it's something that is necessary for us, because what I'm personally discovering is that in this new frequency, this ascension frequency that we're have been moved into, that it seems wants to leave any shadows behind. So it's really bringing light to every aspect of our lives, and this can make us all feel a bit vulnerable, and it it's like, oh man, was I really gonna have to talk about this or deal with this? And in order to really step into our highest level of integrity, this energy is calling us to do that. So we really have to be patient with ourselves, and, really keep our ground. And so the way that we can really stay grounded is to not, to not, avoid those areas, and to try to bring them, to integrate them into the light of your soul's truth. And so, that's why it's going to be very important for us to really, as I said, be aware of, have awareness. And that doesn't mean that we just focus on, this shadow aspect of our ego and give it power. What it means is that you really want to see, with the awareness of your soul's truth, with your higher self, you want to see it for what it really is. And what it really is nothing. But unless we look at it through our soul's higher consciousness, then this thing still holds a power within us to take us off of our path. And so you just want to really be aware of that. And so Archangel Michael's just letting you know that you're safe no matter what feelings come up for you this week. And if you call upon him, he has a sword of light, and he can cut through the illusion. He can cut through that darkness and shine a light of truth into it if you ask him. So if you're not able with your own strength to see the truth, to see the light in the darkness, or to be able to illumine any darkness in your life with light, so that you can see the reality of God's love there, instead of, it's like when you're in the dark, when you're a kid, you look in, and all of a sudden you start to maybe imagine things that were not there. And it's kind of the same idea, because in that dark space without the light, you can kind of almost start, your imagination starts to play with you. So it's really asking just Archangel Michael, and with your own light, inner light, to shine it into the darkness, so that you can see that there's nothing there, but what there is an abundance of love and peace and harmony and joy, waiting for you to fill it in with whatever it is your heart's desire. So let's just take a look at the next card, which is we're using the Unicorn deck by Doreen Virtue again, and the first card represents the focus for the week, and the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday. And I think we may have pulled this card before in this space, I'm not sure. But so the focus is one step at a time for this week. So it says, lots of little steps make big dreams come true. So here, just tuning into the unicorns for a moment here, and just feeling their energy. And so really what we're here this week, what they're really saying is that you want to just kind of hammer away at whatever it is that you're working on, whatever projects you're working on, or whatever relationship that you're in, or anything personal. Just take things one step at a time. Don't try to move through all the steps at one time, especially in romantic relationships. If you really want to stay in the moment, I've spoken to so many of my friends about this, and I've learned this lesson for myself as well, that, just stay. There's stages that relationships go through, just like anything else in life. And if you're building a career or you're trying to start it, you have to realize we want to be there. We want that. We want it to be manifested right instantly, that the project is complete and you're able to experience all that relationship. You have that confirmation, this person's you know, that you love each other, all that kind of stuff is out in the open, and that you're committed. But when you're meeting someone, or if you're in a relationship, you know it's really one day at a time. And it's the power of the universe is that we learn to be present, have a present awareness that we're not in the past and we're not in the future trying to, you know, rush things. And so, for instance, if you're in a relationship and you're just meeting, then, you know, think about it, that you're just getting to know that person, and, you know, that you don't want to start projecting the marriage right then. You know, that kind of thing scares people, because maybe they're not quite ready for that yet. But where they are ready for is that where you are, where there's an attraction, there's an interest, and so you want to stay there at that stage. And when you realize that there's so much fullness in the present moment, you know, there's so much that you can experience in just getting to know someone, you know, that you realize that this is a beautiful place to be, that this is an exciting place, you know, especially when you're first meeting someone. So, you know, don't think too much into the future, and don't worry about the next step when you're in the first step, is the best way to put it. And this goes for career or health, anything that you're praying about or manifesting. Just ask for that step and that awareness, and you'll find that step where you're standing, where in the moment of what's possible. So ask yourself what is possible in this moment, and then just be open to whatever's there. Don't come from the past thinking, oh, I've been hurt before, or this person in a partnership or in a business partnership, you know, things didn't work out. Be here and honor your feelings. Listen to your heart and let it guide you. It knows what's going on, and it's fully aware, and it won't lie to you if you are willing to listen to it and not be in your head. Let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week, and which is the action. Just remember, one step at a time, you are safe. And this card says you'll know in the morning. It says when you wake up, you'll have a better idea about what to do. Relax until then. So the sense I get here is, in the action is, again, they're just saying, you know, you may not know then, but you're going to know. It's going to come to you. So here it seems like we have to be a little patient. We have to wait. And really, I feel like this card is just saying, as you can see, this unicorn, and the girl is sitting on the unicorn, and she's just then focusing on what's right in front of her. Because as you have that present awareness, and you are just, you know, not struggling with, you know, that's why meditation is so important, because it helps you to focus. Sometimes you meditate, it's not about knowing or wanting or getting answers. Sometimes we just need to be. And so in that state of beingness, we are open to the answers more fully, the fullness of the answers, not only for the answer, the direct answer you're looking for, but also answers that come from your soul that give you more clarity about what you're really looking for. So, you know, for example, if this is a partnership or a business partnership or a romantic relationship, you may be thinking about the other person and what their moves are going to be and what they're going to be able to do. And you may be like, oh, I need this right now. I want this right now. I want it to be like this right now. But, you know, you also have to listen to your heart. So you may not get an answer. And so what you may end up getting an answer when you just sit and just be, you may end up getting an answer about what you really need and what your heart really needs. Maybe your heart really doesn't need that to happen right now, if you understand what I'm saying. So really, take the time, get in a sense that in the middle of the week, you'll get some answers for yourself. But the action of the card is really to just be. So don't be in a hurry to go in any one direction, but to really just be and really connect in with your heart's desire and see what you really want this week. As much as it's seems like it may be about others, because Valentine's Day we're so focused on other people, the person, the other person. But this is really about you. And anytime, any relationship is always about you. So the more awareness you get about what you really want, not what from your mind, from your ego, but from what your soul's truth, and assess the relationship based on you, not the other person, the more understanding and clarity you're going to have, and the less you're going to feel hurt and if something doesn't work out in any relationship or any kind of understand. You'll understand, oh, okay, well, I was thinking this way and I was kind of doing this. And so you will walk out of it with feeling empowered because you learned so much about yourself. And let's take a look at the next card, which is the weekend and also the gifts for this week of the lessons. And this card, it says, worth waiting for. And so it says your patience will be rewarded. So here again, we have this sort of patience. These three cards this week seem somewhat ambiguous, especially these last two cards. But the thing is that, again, the gift here is recognizing that where you were placing your the value or your value in the way that someone else responds to you, and you're the one that's worth waiting for. You're the one that is the reward here. You're the one who matters, and it's about how you value yourself and how you focus on yourself and how much you really are listening to your soul's truth, following your inner guidance in every choice and every step of the way, really always being connected up to your higher self. That determines how others can love you, because loving your inner guidance, being loving your soul, really listening to your soul is really loving yourself. And when you are linked up in your guidance, you shift yourself to a higher frequency, which becomes more attractive in nature. And so whether it's attracting money or romance or health, positive health, wholeness in the body, it all resonates to how much you are aligning with your soul's truth. Because in aligning with your soul's truth is really like going to the spa, being in the spa 24/7, because you're just nurturing yourself and you're taking care of yourself constantly by the decisions you make. And so it's like it's stress-free in a way. If we could really learn to live in the present moment, we would have a stress-free life, because in the present moment, there is nothing that we need. I mean, we have everything that we need. And I'm talking literally like in that moment, not the very next moment before or the very moment before that moment, but right in that moment, we have everything that we need. And so, and in that center of all of that is you, in that beingness of that moment is you. And so really all of the attention, all of the love from the universe is constantly pouring into you, and they are represented to us as blessings and gifts and acknowledgement and accomplishment. And but the thing is that we all often keep focused so much on the external and other people. They're like idols, are things that we have, and when something happens to them, we feel completely lost. We don't have a center or ground, and that is what is, I think this card is really talking about, that gift, that lesson that we can learn to nurture ourselves and to love ourselves by just listening to our soul's guidance, because when we're listening to our soul's guidance, we're always now in alignment with who we really are, which means that means you're at peace, and you have harmony in your life, and you have joy, because it brings about all of these wonderful virtues. And let's take a look at the final card from the healing from the fairies deck. And interesting. So this card says environmental awareness. Okay. And so what I'm kind of getting from this card is not so much environment, like, saving the planet, but again, what we've been talking about along, awareness, but in environmental awareness, being aware of what's going on in your environment, so your world, okay? And so that that as the more that you become aware of your environment, that is the world that you're creating, and the source from which this world is created, which is filtered through, which is your soul's consciousness, you will begin to shift your entire world. You'll begin to again, like what I was just saying, you'll begin to attract a greater clarity, a world that represents who you really are as you listen to your soul's guidance, and ultimately you will feel safe and at all times, because in truth, the universe that we live in is a safe place from the point of the truth as we know it in God, as it talks about in the Course in Miracles. So I know that we see all these things around us, and we experience all these things, and that are not positive. And but the thing is that the way we can really change the world, one person by changing the world, is by changing ourselves from within, one person at a time. And so it may not seem much, but it really is a lot, because how you respond and how you see, and the gifts that you gain from the experiences of the things that are going wrong in the world, your higher self-consciousness will enlighten you about it and lift the heaviness and the darkness from it, and the pain and the suffering from it, and help you to see the light in it, to help you to see the divine purpose and the choices that each soul has made for themselves in order to experience enlightenment and growth for themselves. So I hope this has been helpful to you, as it has been for me actually doing this reading, because we really need to be really aware of how to love ourselves better. And the angels recently told me this, and it just made the whole concept of loving ourselves much easier when I realized, because I was before, when somebody said, "Oh, you got to learn to love yourself before you can be in a relationship," or "You got to learn to love yourself before you can, really start having a better life, and experiencing the abundance." And I was like, "Well, how do I do that?" Because it's really hard. I mean, it's hard to, like, what I do, stand in the mirror and hug myself, or and you try to do that, and it works, and then it doesn't seem to be enough, and it doesn't fulfill you. It's not that it doesn't fulfill you, but it's just not the complete picture. And the complete picture really is when you learn to follow your soul's truth and your inner guidance, and you're constantly asking, what is the next step? How do you feel about the decision that you would like to make? And you consult your higher consciousness. You get this loving support, and then when you follow it, it seems to have a wholeness to it. It has an alignment and a harmony that gives you a sense of peace, and it does fulfill you. But if you think about that, what if you were doing that all the time? And what would your life look like if you just truly followed your heart? And I know for some of us, we say, "Oh, but that's following I followed my heart and it got me here." But there's a difference when we learn to become aware of what our truth is. It's very different. Then just because sometimes we kind of tend to give up, but we got to stay with it, and we got to stay with it one step at a time. So for this week, I will really thank you all for tuning into us, for the subscribers. I wish you all the best of harmony in your lives this week. And this Valentine's, I wish you lots of love. I send you lots of love and inner peace and environmental awareness of your soul's truth, and knowing that you're safe, and knowing that there's infinite love for you in the universe, and it completes the universe to love you. And when you and I connect in with that love, it completes us as well. And so this is the wholeness that we're looking for. And this is the wholeness that will inspire our lives to reflect wholeness in relationships and business partnerships and our health. And so thank you very much. And we'll see you next week. So happy Valentine's week, and God bless you.